Hey guys, it's Brittany with Bloom & Co Design Works and welcome to my channel. Hey guys, how's it going? I really wasn't planning on doing this video, but I figured that it was an experiment that I'm going to try, and whether it turns out good or bad, I'm going to share it with you because I'm not all about just giving you the good stuff. So let's see what happens. Today I pulled some of my dahlia tubers out of storage that I had in the garage from last year, and I'd never stored them before. I'd never dug up dahlia tubers and stored them before, so I had no idea what to do. So I looked at a bunch of different ways that you could do it online, and I decided to try and lay some newspaper in a breathable container and put some vermiculite in the bottom, and then put my tubers on top and sprinkle some more vermiculite on them to try and maintain the moisture but not keep it too damp in there so they rot. And I just kind of layered it like that with pieces of newspaper in between the different varieties. So I checked on them today to see what they were looking like, and the top like 4 tuber clumps that I pulled out were so shriveled. They were so shriveled. I kind of laughed and just almost tossed the whole basket without even looking in it. But I'm glad that I didn't, because the 2 bottom clumps look like they have a few tubers that are in decent shape. So I'm gonna try my first shot at dividing some tubers to see if I can get some new shoots off of them for this year. And the reason why I wanted to check on the tubers that I had in storage is because over the weekend I found this at Costco. Costco struck again, and I wanted to try it. So I just have a mix of like a dwarf variety of dahlia so far, and I saw these and it was a good deal for how many plants that you got, so I decided to try it. So I was going to put these in trays to try and pre-sprout them to take some dahlia cuttings so I can have more plants than just the 9 that I got here. So hopefully there's multiple growing points on the tubers and they're okay, and I'll be able to get some more plants out of these. So we'll see what happens. So I wanted to show you how I stored those tubers, so maybe you know what to do or not to do rather next year if you try it yourself. So I just got this breathable bin and I lined it with newspapers, and then I put some vermiculite in the bottom and kind of nestled my tubers in there, and then sprinkled more vermiculite on top, and I just kind of layered it like that with layers of newspaper in between each of the different varieties. And the top 2 layers did not have any viable tubers. They were shriveled up, and a couple of them looked like they had some black mold or something on them, so I just threw them. And so these ones each have a few decent looking tubers on them. Like this guy looks okay, and this one down in here, you probably can't see him very well, and then another one over here. So I'm gonna try and divide them and see if anything happens with them. This is totally just an experiment. I've never done it before, so I wanted to see if I could do it. I've done a lot of research on how to do it, and I just want to see if I can make anything come of these. And these were dahlias that I started from seed last year. It was a dwarf variety, so that's probably why my tuber clumps are so small, and I started them late too. But anyways, I wanted to give that a try with these ones at the same time that I plant the other ones. So I'm gonna see if I have enough vermiculite to plant all of my tuber clumps in vermiculite, and if I don't, I'll do some in soil. So let's get started with that. Okay, so I just pulled out my first bag of dahlia tubers from my 3-pack of 3 different varieties from Costco that I got. This was the Sam Hopkins variety, which I'm excited about. It's a really deep dark purple color. But anyways, it came packed in this peat moss breathable bag, and when I pulled these tubers out, I'm super disappointed. I don't know if any of them are gonna grow, because look at this. They all have broken necks. They all have broken necks. And unless there's any eyes down below, I don't think that any of these are gonna grow. There were a couple small ones in there that had even broken off altogether. But this is all that came in that bag for this one variety. And see, broken neck, not good. I don't think anything's gonna come of that. There are literally 2 tubers in that whole pack of that one variety that do not have broken necks. So that sucks. So we'll see what the other 2 varieties look like. Okay, so this is the first tuber clump that I saved from last year. And there's some of these that I'm just gonna get rid of right away. And I think there's 3 viable tubers on this one that look okay. And this one I actually marked unknown because the flowers had already faded by the time I went to dig it and I couldn't remember what it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start by taking off, and that's not a good sign. Those need to be sharpened, don't they? I'm just gonna take off all this loose stuff, all these old roots. I'm only gonna do it with the ones that I think I'm gonna keep though. So let's see what happens here. Try and keep parts of the stem and just cut through it. I don't know if this is gonna work. Kind of makes me nervous. Let's try doing it this way. Okay, I'm gonna try my good old trusty snips and see if these work better. Okay, so none of these over here are good. But this one looks good, and I think I see at least one eye up there. So I'm gonna see what happens with it. Alright, I'm just gonna go for it. I can't really tell if there's any eyes on these ones. I just want to try and go right down the middle so I leave some of the stem on both of them. Maybe I might have just butchered this one. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Okay, so this is all that I have of what made it through storage so far from last year's garden. So I'm gonna pot them up and see what happens. Okay, so here's a flat of dahlias that I put in some of the peat moss and a little bit of soil because I didn't quite have enough of the peat moss. And then just some extras that I had put in pots down here. It's now been about a month actually since I first filmed this, and I still don't have any growing points on any of my tubers. Some of them really don't look very good and others still look okay, but I don't see any signs of life yet. So that's the current status of these. So still just an experiment, but hopefully something good will come of these. In the meantime though, these are my dwarf unwin dahlia starts that are about a month old now. So these little guys look really happy and healthy. I've moved them out to the greenhouse, so they're adjusting pretty well considering. It's currently 34 degrees in here. I forgot to close the door last night, and also that window I forgot to close, so I did it super early this morning. But they look happy and healthy. And then I started a bunch of other seeds earlier this week. These little guys require darkness for germination, my larkspur, so I have a board over them for another day or two before I start checking for germination. So yeah, things are doing good. So that's all for today, so stay tuned and we will see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.